So we're at that time again, folks. It's Mr. Everyday. I'm here for season 3 launch party. Man, listen, I love this time of year. The podcast has been honestly superseded my expectations when I originally started. The next level, it was really just to show my respects to the community and to create an outlet for artists that really didn't have the opportunities because they lacked the big budget. Now it's getting bigger and bigger every year. We now going into season 3, and I got a great cast this year for season 3. So first, I set it off with Egyptian Queen. Egyptian Queen, she's been putting in a lot of work. She's literally like a fashionista. She's Arabic, she's from Egypt, literally from Egypt. And you know, you could tell by the way she speaks that English is her second language. But her charisma, her style, her approach, her dedication. When you look at what you want from an artist, that's what you want from an artist. You want an artist that's gonna be dedicated, work hard, but also understand that look is extremely important when you're presenting a package or when you're presenting anything for consumption by the public. You want it to have an amazing look. So she's always dialed in on her style, on her wardrobing, on her hair, on her nails, on her accessories. So especially as a female artist, that's extremely important because consumers go for eye candy. So Egyptian Queen, you know what I mean? It was like she got on my radar, I want to say like a couple years ago. I just used to watch her lives. And then eventually I started seeing her drifting deeper into doing the music thing. I let her open up last year on season 2 launch party. And this year now she's a part of the cast and a big headlining, artist as well up there with the rest of them. Secondly, we got King Bumpavelli. Let me tell you something. There's like the homie from around the way or the OG from around the way that everybody gravitates to in every hood. King Bumpavelli Johnson is that guy. Anytime I've ever seen him, he's always attracted positive energy. He's a wordsmith, Wordsworth. He's got all the lingo, the charisma, the pizzazz to go with it. And now that he's really dedicated with his podcasting, I said, you know what? He's definitely ready to go. Not to mention, he's been harassing me episodes since last season. Like, bro, when I'm coming on the show. But there's no question about it. I want to make sure that my platform was elevating. So it's not just about me benefiting from this look, from this event, from this season. I want the artists to be able to get as much as they can from this, squeeze as much juice as they can from this to help elevate them in whatever path that they're gonna choose after this. And so King Bumpavelli, I see him elevating with his podcast. And so, this is like us joining forces to help build both of our brands up at the same time. So I had to have my guy, King Bumpavelli Johnson from the BX, the home of hip hop, you know what I mean? Talking about somebody who's a seasoned veteran in this game, but now he's taking his career more seriously, and I'm here to help him get to the next level. Doc on the beat. Doc on the beat, shout out to my boy Kasim, aka Doc on the beat. Doc, he's been out here since a baby. Like, first of all, like he comes from great lineage. His father was in the game, really helped him elevate at a very young age to be in a position where really he was a young prodigy as far as the engineer is concerned, as far as his singing ability. A lot of people don't know how good of a singer he actually is, which actually makes him a greater engineer and a greater producer because he has that artistry as well. He understands composition. He understands song structure. Just doesn't understand, it's just not about the turning up a level and things like that. There's more that go into cultivating a song and having a great ear. So Doc is very well-rounded. He's had a lot of success. He had a record that he produced that took off, and 40, 50 million views, streams, 40, 50 million streams. Like, he's killing it right now. He's a little more low-key, so I had to bring him out of his shell. So I was like, you know what? My guy should be even bigger. He should be even more known. It's time for me to do my part for this region and help elevate our talent, our pure talent. So for me, bringing Doc on the beat, not to mention when it starts out with the commercial side of things, I was one of his first jobs outside of his own infrastructure because he's always done everything internally. So when it came time for him to come out and work for a commercial studio, he came out to work for me at Prodigy Studios. So I've known Doc ever since he was young in terms of his development. Now he's a veteran at this point. So, he's a great guy, great person to work with. He's cultivating great artists right now. Absolutely, I had to do it for the region. If y'all didn't know, Doc's the real deal. Next, we got Philly Hayes. I've been following Philly Hayes for a very, 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 very long time. It started out with me with the battle rap situations. I used to see everybody always talking bad shit about Philly Hayes and him talking shit bad. And what I loved about his whole approach to everything, he never took anything too seriously, and he didn't take himself too seriously. And I think that's what enabled him to really kind of continue to elevate, because sometimes people get too much in their feelings and don't understand, like, there's a competition aspect. And competition is what drives and fuels any sport. And in a lot of ways, this hip hop is a sport. So Philly Hayes was doing his numbers, battling anybody that wanted any type of smoke. But not only that, he was coming up and started to develop himself as an artist as well, in terms of putting out records and putting out songs. So my first introduction to him, really musically, even though I heard like bits and pieces of stuff, but I wasn't really dialed in on that. I got dialed in on him when he started linking with X the Don, AKA X the GOAT. Once they formed Team Goya, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is what they're supposed to be doing right now. Because first of all, the Latin market is huge. When you talk about, like, Latin market is undeniable. You tap into the Latin market, the sky's the limit for you. So I was already intrigued by that aspect. And then also by the fact we're talking about a Bronx, uptown native, you know what I mean? So he's got the credentials, he's been in the streets, he's been building and building and building. So now I've aligned myself with Team Goya and Philly Hayes specifically, regardless of any of the animosities that he might have had or does have. That comes with the trade. You're not doing nothing if people ain't hating on you. That means you ain't relevant. Because if you're relevant, they're hating. I expect controversy to come from me and him aligning, but it is what it is. You know, Mr. Everyday's here for the people. I'm here for everybody. I don't choose sides. I'm on my side. Feel me? I'm on my side and I'm on the people's side. You start getting caught up too many other personal things, moving the wrong way. When you're here for the culture, you're here for the culture, good and bad, and you're here to uplift it, good and bad. So if it's bad, we're gonna take it to good. If we wasn't working together, now we're working together. It's time to come together. That's the whole point of this platform, and that's the whole point of this movement, the Next Level Movement, Past Life Radio. Now we got DJ Mr. CEO, AKA Nubian Lawrence. Now CEO's a veteran. He's lived literally everywhere. If he was gonna retire his jersey, he probably would wanna retire it in Harlem or the Bronx. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this man has been a signature in the 518 for years. And he did a lot of parties. He DJ'd a lot of parties. And, you know, you're talking about a person that, you know, knows the game. Like, he's been affiliated with some of the biggest brands, unbeknownst to everybody. You know, he's been out here grinding. He's a part of every DJ coalition damn near that they make. You know what I mean? You know, he's in Florida one minute, he's in New York another, he's in Texas another. This man is always about that action. And honestly, could have went on this platform at any season, you know what I mean? But the timing was perfect. He was in town right when I had a situation where a slot opened up, and it was like, you know what? This makes perfect sense. You supported all my events. Now it's time for me to give back to him in a greater way and elevate his level, because it's all about elevation. It's all about reaching the next level. Even when you think you're doing something, you're not doing enough. So DJ Mr. CEO, aka Nubian Lawrence, is season 3 cast member certified. Next we got Soul New York. Soul New York Blackhearted. When listening to these artists, especially someone like Soul New York, who has a very touching story of loss and pain and suffering, and the way he's bounced back and been able to level up and be a real man out here. Never mind just being an artist, be a real man. It's important in this game. You know, being thorough, being of your word, following up, being consistent. Like, that's what gets you to places, because at the end of the day, people will want to work with you because of your character and the type of person you are. So Soul New York is a great character individual, great ethics, great values. His artistry, he has his own way about him. He has his own style about him. Honestly, he's unmatched for what he does. That's his lane. And when you get a feature from him, you get something special. So he's super talented, and I'm very proud of his growth and his development. And it was a pleasure being able to really, for the first time, find out things about him that I didn't even know. You know, so having him on this platform is great for consumers, listeners, fans, and everything, because he gives great insight and is very introspective about his life and also about his career. And he's humble and he's truthful. He's not saying nothing for clout. He's telling you what his shortcomings were. He was telling you when he hit the corner and began to learn, you know, and even his understanding of what my platform meant to him in his career. So that was a great interview. Next, we got Bez Aloha. Bez is my guy. Bez, let me tell you something about Bez. Bez is like one of those dudes that, on face value, from the rip, was a superstar. The look, the swag, everything. It was almost like he was ahead of his time. The game wasn't really ready for him because he was already super smart, understanding the business, you know, being able to maneuver. But as you will learn in this game, gaining knowledge is like a two-headed sword. It's good and it's bad. Because if you're too smart for your own good, then nobody don't want to work with you, or they're intimidated by you. So you have to learn how to have the right balance in the industry, because what's going to happen is you're going to get to a point where you think you know so much, or you do know so much, that now it's pointless for you to work with other people. And you get to that point as an independent producer or CEO where you're like, I might as well just do this myself because I know what to do. So Bez is one of those people that early on figured the game out. And now he moves in a very independent fashion, strategically, methodically, step by step by step. So even if you don't think things are happening because the one thing you learn in this game, sometimes you don't want people to see every move you're making. And that's how I move. I'm already 3 steps ahead, and people still think I'm in last year. And I'm already 3 years into the future. So it's like, you know, you have to kind of have a mystique about you. So Bez has that mystique. You know, he's an engineer, he's an artist, he sings. He's very well-rounded. So having him, once again, brings great value, great perspective to the platform. Next, we got the one and only, the unmistakable, Sydney McDonald. Let's just start with the fact that the original Jay-Z and DMX battle was shot in his barbershop. Let me say that again. The famous battle between Jay and DMX, and we're talking about years ago, decades ago, before either one of them was a platinum household name. That battle was shot in his barbershop. So Sydney started out as a barber, which is also an entrepreneur. And look at what came from that. Sydney developed relationships with people to the point where, like, dude, you connecting everybody, you in the scene, like, you might as well be managing. Then he started managing people. A lot of people don't know he managed Kid Cudi. He is directly responsible for Kid Cudi getting his deal with Kanye West. He's worked with Cash Money Click. He's opened up multiple businesses. He's still running businesses. He's in real estate. He has a truck towing and rental business. You know what I mean? So, like, when you talk about a mogul, that's the embodiment of that. You know, I've been very fortunate. I met him at an event. I was working for a commercial radio station here in the 518, and I met him at this event, and he just took off from there. But Sydney's a special one because not only is he, like, his drive and his dedication damn near unmatched, but he's humble and a student of the game. When I talk about him, it's with great respect, because he's one of the few people that no matter what is about that life all the way through and through, and gets to that action and makes that move, and is always reaching back to help out another person. So he's been blessed to continue to evolve in many different TV producing, reality shows, like you name it. Sydney McDonald is it. So honestly, you are very fortunate to be able to have this interview of him, to really be able to learn some of the things, because we speak very candidly. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to just continue to keep elevating the platform. Then we got TGIF, DJ TGIF, AKA Craig Earl, DJ Craig, DJ the most noticed, the most hardest working, the most celebrated DJ in the region. I'll say it. I mean, we got a lot of great DJs here. We even got iconic DJs, but what we're talking about, like right now at this moment, DJ TGIF is it. And there's like I said, there's a lot of great DJs out here. I mean, we really have a great DJ culture out here. Seriously, there's more DJs than there are venues to be able to showcase all these amazing DJs that we got out here. True story. But when you talk about DJ TGIF, is there maybe somebody that can mix as good as him? I'm sure there is. Is there maybe somebody that can blend and do all the action, all the other, aid, everything? Yeah, I'm sure there may be somebody. But when you talk about the next level, it's about the whole package. It's about the whole understanding of marketing, networking, community work. This man puts in a tremendous amount of community work, dealing with the people at events, you know, Hype Fest, his birthday, one of the biggest parties of the year, and it's a consistency all year round. There's never a break. The man is always working, and that's why, arguably, he's the top DJ out here. And he'll tell you that himself, as he does in his interview. And He's originally from the town, which is funny because when we always come back, it always winds up being a New York City route. So there's things that I learned about everybody. As the season progressed, as time went on, I thought I knew things and I learned things. So I implore you to stay dialed into this whole season and really listen to everybody's interview, especially if you're an aspiring artist. See, one thing about me, I'm a student in the game. You ask me how I got in this platform, being a student in the game, studying, reading. Before I started this radio show out here, this radio station in 2014, I've been out here. This is my 11th year. Last year we celebrated 10-year anniversary. This is my 11th year. I celebrated it. And one thing that I did and always do is I read up on my craft. So I got a bunch of books. Going to school, Hudson Valley, in the new school. I got an allotment of books that I was able to read, and one of them was about the power of radio. And I realized what I was doing great, and I realized what I wasn't doing great. And in that year, within 2 years of that whole situation, and really, within 2 years of that or less, 2014, they voted me Past Life Radio Show of the Year. Best radio show for the 518. Metroland publication was the #1 publication for arts and entertainment for decades out here. And they voted my radio show the official. And I never saw it coming. But the point is that being a student in the game, studying, elevating, that's what got me in this position to do this. And that's why at the end of every season, I always do the grand finale recap of the season. So the very last episode is me, where I drop more jewels than ever. So if you've been following me, and you know I did the 7-year anniversary recap, I did last year's 10-year anniversary recap, because it was a break from year 7 with the pandemic to year 10. So I was coming out, and I was like, you know what, I want to do something special. So I'm gonna continue to keep doing things special. I'm gonna continue to keep elevating the region. I have a new project dropping, celebrating 50 years of hip hop, Mr. Everyday. The album's called The Rubicon. Title track, Crossing the Rubicon, featuring Rhythmic Science. And my first single is called Blast, dropping this summer. So I just want to, once again, thank everyone for all the support that you've given me throughout the years. And let's just keep continuing to work together. And I'm here, Past Life Radio. You can find me on everything, PAST space LIFE space radio. You can email me, pastliferadio@gmail. You can hit me on Facebook, hit me on Twitter, hit me on Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, hit me on YouTube. You know what I mean? Past Life Radio, you can go to the YouTube. You'll see the whole Past Life Radio, all the seasons of The Next Level. And we're going to continue to keep giving you that content. But this is the year we take it to the top. It's Mr. Everyday. I'm out here. To all my Season 3 cast members, I salute you. Welcome to The Next Level.